Action.
So when we left, hello? So when we left last, I can't say this.
You can.
So when we last, what? You shook your head no.
Because you're starting it as you're turning. You gotta be stable so you
Okay.
cut it.
So when we last left off with Jim Bennett's Turbo Dart here, he had taken it to the track. He ran, I don't even remember what it was, like a 21-second eighth mile ET. We did the calculations, it came out to like 38 horsepower to the tire. So we brought it back to my shop, pulled the head off, motor was toast. So in the meantime, they stuck a fresh bullet in here. It's 60 over, fresh rings, it's gapped for boost. It's got a small RV cam. I'm not sure what the specs are off the top of my head, but they installed it straight up. We came up here a couple days ago, got it running, did the break-in, and now we're going to drive it back to Murfreesboro, back to our shop, and we're going to figure out exactly what it is, what we got to do to make this thing run. So let's go for a ride. All right, let's see what this thing does. I mean, it's hot. Every time we come up here, it's like 175 degrees. Mount Juliet, Tennessee is closer to the sun than we are. So if I look like I'm sweating, it's because I am. Well, that starts right up. Good oil pressure. 19 inches of mercury on the boost gauge there. That sounds nice and happy. So we, one of the things we did while we had the motor apart was I welded the weights on the distributor so it's locked out, and we have it dropped in at approximately 20 degrees. Now, right now we didn't have a light handy when we went for the warm-up, or the break-in I should say, so that's one of the things we're going to do when we get back to the shop. Let's check the marks on the damper, set the timing for sure, and we're probably going to mess around in that 22 to 26 degree range. But let's see what she does. Ah, it's hot, sweaty in the eyes. She purrs like a nice stock slant. Let's see what kind of oomph she has. None really. Oh, Jesus, that's bad. According to the gauge, it made 2 pounds of boost. It does feel like it's making more than 38 horsepower. Not a lot more than 38 horsepower, but it feels like it's making more than 38 horsepower. Let traffic get out a little bit. Maybe it's got to warm up before it makes some boost. I don't know. I'm a turbo novice. Like, I've driven turbo cars. I've had, in fact, like the. Oh, I don't want to talk about that now. I've driven turbo cars. I've done like tune-ups on turbo cars, but I've never messed with a turbo car, so I really don't know the. I'm a GMC supercharger guy. So let's see what this thing does. Let's watch that boost gauge. Nothing. So the downside is that it's not making any boost at all. The upside is it runs pretty good for a normally aspirated slant. So I guess that's going to be job number one. Well, job number two. First thing we'll do is get the timing all squared away so we know what that is. And then we'll figure out why it's not making any boost. It's got to have some real gear in it too, because I mean she's revving here. The tranny is solid. It's stuck in second gear. This is a problem. It doesn't appear that we have high gear. Traffic. All right, let's pay attention to the shifts here. First to second. A little late. Which means this car has a TV cable instead of regular linkage, so the cable might be adjusted a little tight. Get 1 pound of boost out of it. There's no whoosh. I wanted to feel that turbo whoosh. Where's the whoosh? That's 2 pounds of boost. Back to the shop and figure out what's going wrong with it. Well, about a minute after we shot that, we found out where the whoosh went. I laid into it again, and it started to build, you know, a little bit of tiny, little bit of whoosh the way it had been. And then all of a sudden I heard like this squeal. It sounded like somebody was hitting their brakes alongside of us, you know, really very high-pitched squeal. And it was the turbocharger locking up. So, all right, well, we brought it back here just to do a quick, you know, see if we can diagnose what killed the thing. Or I think it was already, I'm sure it was already dead going in. When Jim bought this setup off of eBay, you know, it was untested. It came with a new carburetor. Things look good, but the turbocharger does look like it's got some mileage on it. But anyway, it died. So obviously the first thing I checked was oil supply. The way this thing is set up is it has this feed line, and this is plumbed directly into the oil pump, and then it drains back. It has a free flow drain. I don't know if you can see it right here, and that's plumbed into the oil pan. And I checked that, and as soon as you spin the motor, we've got oil coming up here, and like I said, that's a free flow back to the oil pan. So I know it's definitely not an oil supply problem. Too much heat from too lean of a mixture, too rich of a mixture, burning in the turbo will kill one of these things. We don't have an AFR gauge on this car, and that's one of the things we're going to put on here. But just giving it a quick plug read, I pulled a couple of plugs. The color on the plugs is absolutely perfect. They're just you know, a little on the tan side. You couldn't ask for a sweeter you know, combination the way it is now. So, but we still do need to get that gauge on there. So I know it wasn't a lean or a fat condition or an oil starvation problem that killed the turbocharger. The only thing left is just it's an old turbo and it needs to be replaced. So that's where we're at with this thing. If we learned anything from this so far, right, is that if you ever wondered how a stock Slant would run with a quadrajet and a funky little elbow-shaped adapter on the stock one-barrel intake manifold, they run actually much better than you would think it would. You know, I would have said, nah, this thing's gonna be a turd. But for normally aspirated like 4-barrel Slant, it actually runs really good. It's strong, it's solid. So I was very surprised by that. Oh, and the transmission shifting issue, we weren't getting high gear. It was shifting first to second very late, and we weren't getting high gear in traffic. And it was just the TV cable. So that just needed to be adjusted. That's this piece right over here. So I just shortened it up a little bit, and now it shifts exactly when it's supposed to. So that's it. This thing goes back to Jim's now. He'll pop another turbocharger on it, and we'll try this again probably next week. So that's it. I'll see you tomorrow.